right, so we made it up to the University of Utah, and there's a couple stops here. Some of it is about technology, but this first stop is the David Eccles Business School. This is in particular the James Lee Sorenson Global Impact Investing Center. You can kind of see it up there. It's the University of Utah. So the reason why this is important is that, as you know, there's a lot of impact investing programs here in the state of Utah, social impact finance. James Sorenson is a key figure. His family was involved in real estate, and then he made his money, I believe, in like media communications for the deaf, creating video conferencing, and moved on to including some sort of life sciences initiatives, and also genomics tied to like ancestry types of things. So they have their hands in a lot of pots. He was a major supporter of advancing the Social Impact Partnerships Pay for Results Act, which was the seed money to get this all started. He hosts, the Impact Center hosts a winter summit on impact investing. And last night I talked about watching one of the videos from that Impact Summit in 2018 that I believe probably must have been here on the campus, that was talking about essentially it was youth incarceration and social impact bonds. But at the end of the presentation, the panelists, including Ian Galloway of the San Francisco Federal Reserve, who's a major player in this space, someone asked, who was with a Utah Salt Lake City area food pantry, the fact that all of their impact opportunities were not going to work if people were hungry, and that they could never seem to figure out a way to put food access into the social impact bond space. At which point Ian Galloway essentially said, well, you know, these deals only work if you can find the cost offset, and we haven't figured out the cost offset for hunger yet, and hunger is Sustainable Development Goal 2, that maybe he sort of speculated that maybe it could be test scores, that like children's third grade test scores would be the cost offset, improved test scores to feed children. And so, you know, one of the things I was trying to come across last night is that, you know, people of faith in this particular area, many of whom are very active in charitable giving, need to understand that these impact markets aren't actually about permanently solving the problem. It's about shaping people's trauma in ways through innovative financial instruments to actually profit off of the trauma, but at the same time, you know, they're making money and they're being perceived of as being benevolent. And I don't think that that's benevolent. If it was truly benevolent, you wouldn't have children go hungry and pay for them only based on their test scores. So, you know, again, I just want to, you know, school, it's a Saturday, so there's really not many folks here, but, you know, I've got a bit of sage again here, and I'm just going to leave it as an offering to say that, again, we don't consent, Jim Sorenson. We don't consent to Social Impact Partnerships Pay for Results Act. We don't consent to pre-K social impact bonds. We're refusing this program of poverty mining. And next on, we're going to go over to the computing center, which is where they've the ARPA nodes. I'm going to try to find the older computer building. Salt Lake City was one of the first 4 nodes of the internet, the ARPANET at that time. And so I want to find that building. And then also someone was just telling me that there was a new antenna, something called PAWR, some innovative, it's a major research hub, and probably a lot of sort of defense, military, electrical engineering research going on here. So, you know, we're, you know, going to go on to that. Again, it's this lovely setting in this, let me flip it around, this beautiful valley, snowy mountains, and all sorts of stuff. But there's a lot of complicated things going on here, and just showing up and trying to be a conscience.